Today we're going to talk about the diet for Hashimoto's thyroiditis patients. Hi, I'm Dr. Mona Morstein. I'm a naturopathic physician and I've been in practice for 36 years. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button below and let's get started. So, Hashimoto's thyroiditis is an autoimmune disease whereby one's own immune system is attacking one of two aspects of the thyroid hormone process. One, it's attacking an enzyme that attaches iodine to the tyrosine on the thyroid hormone, or two, it's attacking the foundational molecule upon which the hormone is built. Now, over time, this kind of attack can lead to hypothyroidism or an underperforming thyroid that can no longer make thyroid hormone. And this causes many symptoms such as dry hair, dry skin, feeling cold, feeling tired, gaining weight, water retention, constipation. Just think of the whole body as kind of slowing down. Now, there are many ways that we treat Hashimoto's thyroiditis, but today I'm just going to talk about how should you eat if you do have this condition. We're going to talk about three things. One is watching gluten, one is watching your own individual food sensitivities, and three is tidying up your diet to make it better nutritionally. Hashimoto's thyroiditis is associated with celiac disease. Now, celiac disease is when a person eats gluten and they get a different autoimmune disease where their immune system attacks and really destroys the lining of the small intestine. So around 8 to 20% of celiac disease patients have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. On the other hand, in various studies, around 2 to 5% of Hashimoto's patients have celiac disease. And the last statistic is a study showing that around 5 to 19% of Hashimoto's patients have either celiac disease or they have what's called non-celiac gluten enteropathy. This is when they have a reaction to gluten, but it's not destroying the lining of their small intestine. So this is why it's kind of oftentimes recommended that people who have Hashimoto's thyroiditis avoid gluten. Now, gluten is a grain protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. Now, there's a lot of other grains patients can eat who are avoiding gluten, like oatmeal and rice and corn and teff and buckwheat and cassava, almond flour, all different kind of things. So it's not that restrictive. Now, the second consideration, which I tend to favor, is doing a food sensitivity test. So I can learn what each patient individually is sensitive to. Because as you heard with those statistics, that's not 80% of people, it's not 90% of people. It's a small percentage of people that seem to have this gluten sensitivity. But we know with autoimmune diseases, food sensitivities is always an etiological factor we want to investigate. But for a patient, it may not really be that gluten is their problem. Maybe it is dairy or corn, or maybe it is eggs or soy or so forth. So I love to bring that specific individualization to medical care. And that enables a patient to learn what they themselves react to. Now, food sensitivity tests are one of my most common tests. They're not that expensive. I only use Allotest labs, and I can check for 184 foods on their panel. And so removing food sensitivities can reduce Hashimoto's antibodies, reduce the TSH, saying the thyroid is making hormones easier, and increase the free T4 and free T3. All good things. Now, the third way to look at the diet with Hashimoto's is having my patients do a 7-day diet diary. I have all my patients do that, and I have them write down with no judgment at all everything they eat, the good and the bad. So I see what are they getting in that's nutritious, or what's inflammatory, or what nutrients are they getting in, what maybe they be deficient in, How much sugar, fast food, processed food, how much fruits and veggies, how much variety, all things that really help the gut and the beneficial bacteria be good, the produce, the fiber, the variety. So when I go over food sensitivities, and I also say we'll go over their diet, and I have all kind of handouts that are long and involved and teach people how to eat healthier and why it's important to get their Hashimoto's under better control. So what we're looking at kind of summary with the diet is how many omega-3s foods do they have in them, which are not that easy to get in, right? Oily fish and walnuts and green leafies, flax oil, chia or flax seeds, omega-3 eggs, and grass-finished, grass-fed beef. These are where we can get in omega-3s, and that settles down any itis in the body, including thyroiditis. Making sure they're getting whole grains if they're especially if they're avoiding gluten, because many gluten-free foods are full of starch and just garbage, frankly. Maybe getting a little more plant-based proteins. As I said, more veggies and fruits, more variety. Watching the sugar, which inflames the body, and therefore if you have an itis, it makes it worse, right? I'm going to end with a very interesting thing that these foods are okay if you have a thyroid problem. This is a myth out there. Yes, you can have cruciferous vegetables, for sure. Maybe not a wad full of raw ones, but cooked cruciferous vegetables will not harm the thyroid, and soy will not harm the thyroid, right? So we don't have to really be afraid of those foods. This is what we're looking at. We're looking at, again, gluten, individualized food sensitivities, and a healthier diet. That's the best ways for addressing Hashimoto's thyroiditis on a dietary level. Thank you for watching. If you'd enjoyed this video, please click like, and also please subscribe to this channel and click on my bio if you'd like to try to book an appointment. Thank you. I'm Dr. Mona Morstein.